Mr. Chairman, dear friends and colleagues, it is a great honor for me to speak to you here in Malta, with our friends and supporting our friends of the Nationalist Party and its leader, my friend Simon Busuttil. Only 2 weeks ago, on the 15th of March, the Dutch elections took place. After a long and intense campaign, my party, the Christian Democratic Party of the Netherlands, was one of the great victors of that election. I thank my colleagues in the EPP for their support, their great support, during our election campaign. Many leaders came to the EPP summit in Maastricht in October last year. And I'm very grateful for the many endorsements of so many of you, including President Joseph Daul on behalf of the EPP in those decisive last days of the campaign. And from here I want to thank the delegation and the fraction in Parliament, in the European Parliament, Manfred Weber, and also the delegation leader Esther de Lange, for their support during this election. Now, the next few months, the Netherlands will primarily be occupied with the delicate process of negotiations, coalition negotiations. And as one of the victors of this election, my party is at that table. We want to make sure that our values and the values of the EPP are in the heart of a new Dutch government. Now, media and politicians all over Europe watched the Dutch elections closely. And many were concerned about the possible breakthrough of populist parties. In the days after the election, a sigh of relief went through Europe. Journalists reported that the domino of populism was stopped in the Netherlands. That is understandable. And yet, I want to warn not to simply narrow this election result as victory over populism. Because in the Netherlands, the theme in the campaign was not who defeats populists. People did not vote for my party in the first place because they were battling populism. No, they voted my party because they felt and they believed that we took their worries and concerns serious, and they trusted us. And those concerns are the concerns of the middle class, the backbone of society, the backbone of our EPP parties. Concerns that are sincere and deeply felt, about immigration and integration, about the threat of radicalization and terrorism, about our Dutch and our European identity in a changing and sometimes hostile world, and about economic security and protections in time of globalization and digitalization. So what lessons can be learned out of these Dutch elections? Foremost, we national parties and European should not focus on other parties when going to the people, populist or not. We have to focus on the concerns, the sincere concerns of our people. And we have to confront the real peoples and the problems and ask the trust for that, about immigration, radicalization, terrorism, and standing firm for our European values. So we must all understand that the process of change in the world, globalization and digitalization, jeopardize the middle class, and that is our backbone. When the middle class loses its trust, society loses its foundation. So, to conclude, winning the hearts and minds of people starts by addressing the concerns of those people, the concerns of the ordinary people, the middle class. That is what securing Europe's future is about. Let that be our pledge here today in Malta, the pledge of the EPP to the European people. I thank you very much.